Let me ask you a question. What rapper or rap group got you into hip hop? In hip hop, we might debate about our subgenre preferences or our regional biases, but one thing that unites us is that we're all part of hip hop culture. We may have had different entry points and at different times, but something about hip hop grabbed us and made us study it, and it made us love it. So in this video, I'll be showing you some of my producer and or content creators' answer to that question. And keep watching till the end because I will follow everyone else and also answer that question. What rapper or rap group got you into hip hop? What's up, y'all? My name is Monev360, and if you like dope beats, dope rhymes, and discussing hip hop culture, please consider subscribing and clicking on the notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos.
What got me into hip hop? Like what artist and what group? That's a really good question actually, and it's sort of like a layered question. So the first thing I would say is Eminem got me into hip hop. I was in my brother's room, I was playing some video games, I was just chilling, and he had Encore on in the background, and that's when I first heard Eminem. The first single, it wasn't even an album that I bought first time. The first single that I bought was the Just Lose It single, and then it had Lose Yourself on the other side. And at the same time, it was around the same time that Grand Theft Auto San Andreas came out, and you had Deep Cover, Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, and you had Express Yourself and Always Into Something. NWA basically is what I'm saying. You know, Dr. Dre and Eminem are pretty much number one. Probably in the top 5, and number 2, the 2 people who mainly got me into hip hop. So it's a combination of the 2.
All right, what rapper or rap group got me into hip hop? Shout out Monev360 for this opportunity, for this collab. You know, what rapper got me into hip hop? If you don't, just look at me. Just look at me. Eminem got me into hip hop. All right. And the first rap song I ever heard was Not Afraid. I think I was like 10 or 11 when I first heard that song. And from the time that song came out to early 2017, I was like I had a huge Eminem phase. You could call me an Eminem stan during that time. I was like standing dude, and then I was also like a Hobson fan and a Tech Nine fan. I was in my juvenile stage, you know what I'm saying? But being fans of them for so long, you're closed-minded, at least for me. And I thought that was only one way of hip-hop. Until I expanded my horizons, I got less closed-minded, and I started looking at different types of hip-hop, like whether it be experimental with JPEG Mafia, or your conscious hip-hop like J. Cole or Kendrick, or your trap like Young Thug, Travis Scott, Migos. I started to branch out, and that was a good thing to do, because you realize how good and how great hip-hop actually is with so many subgenres. And also you had your underground stuff like West Side Gun, Griselda. And once I found that out, I listened to a whole bunch of, I damn near listened to almost every 2010s album, and I'm like, you know what, I think I need to go back even farther. So then I went back to the 90s with Wu-Tang, The Fair Side, Illmatic, Outkast, Tribe Called Quest. Then you went to the 80s with Public Enemy, Run DMC, Beastie Boys. Then you go to the 2000s and you have Jay-Z, old Kanye, Mad Villainy, all those great albums, goated artists. And that's what ultimately Eminem was the start of Crazy Enough. Eminem was the dude that got me into hip hop. But yeah, thank you for this opportunity, Monev, and yeah, that's it.
Now, when I was asked the question, what rapper or rap group got you into hip-hop music, I must say for me that was a pretty troubling question, because there's so many that I could name, whether it be Common, Lupe Fiasco, Jay-Z, even Kanye West. Despite how a lot of us do feel about him today, I cannot deny that I did grow up listening to him, and he is a big reason for my love for soul sample production. However, I can honestly say that Blue in Exile really developed my love for the genre. I'm sure most of us do remember their Below the Heavens album that came out way back in like 2007. Probably their most popular album for sure, one of my favorites of all time, coming from one of my favorite MCs of all time, Blue. You know, I definitely have always appreciated Blue as an artist because he does work with so many different artists, so many different sounds. He's not afraid to try different things, and I do try to take that same approach when it comes to listening to music. I do try to understand what the artist is doing, really try to be more open-minded when it comes to the different sounds that is in this genre. So with that said, Blue in Exile are the reason I am a hip-hop fan.
Hey yo, what's up y'all? It's Logan from Revelation Rap Reviews. And what got me into rap and hip hop? What rapper really got me into the genre? So, growing up in the rural South, in the United States, and also being in a more conservative Christian family, the only way that I was really going to discover hip hop was the exact way I did, and that was through Lecrae, you know, Christian rapper. So it was easier for my parents whenever I was younger to say, oh yeah, he'll have a good influence on him. And of course he did. He has had such a big impact in my life. But the way that he was able to combine things that I believed in with the hip hop community helped to spur me into digging deeper into that community as well. You know, the way that he shouted out other rappers, how he worked with other rappers, more well-known rappers, even like Big Crit, E40, you know, guys like that. That's just what really caused me to dig deeper and then eventually get to where we are now. So yeah, that's my story.
So what is my answer to the question, what rapper or rap group got you into hip hop? Like many other people in this video, I have an elaborate answer to that question. The first album that I remember ever owning, well, it wasn't an album, it was a cassette tape, was the DJ Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince Rock the House. I remember my dad had bought that cassette tape for me. So that's the first rap album I can remember owning. I was familiar with rappers like Biz Markie and people like that, but I didn't know a whole lot about rap when I was young. You know, being born in 81, I mean, that's one of those kind of like in the middle like years, you know. So in the late 80s, which is, you know, like 88, which is called the golden era, I was only 7 years old. So there was a lot of people that I wasn't listening to. I wasn't listening to NWA back then. I wasn't listening to EPMD back then, or Kane and Rakim and all those type of people. So that's like when I first like heard hip hop, and I did like it, but to be honest, probably at that time when I was that age, I was more a fan of R&B, you know. So like people like New Edition and stuff like that, and like Bobby Brown's solo albums like Don't Be Cruel, like that type of stuff. Like that's what I was more into, you know what I'm saying, as a very, you know, preteen youth. But when it came to like around like 91, 92. That's when I really, that's what really, the people who are out then really got me into hip hop. Like Dr. Dre and Snoop, you know, with the Chronic that had came out. Das Effects, you know, their first album. You know, Grand Poobah with What Goes Around, everything, you know, as far as like the singles that he dropped for the Real to Real album. That's what really got me into hip hop, where I was like interested in it, and that was around the time when I started actually wanting to rhyme, you know. So those are the people who really got me into hip hop. It's like around in 92. You know, I already knew about it beforehand, but when I really started understanding it and understanding the punchlines and understanding how the stories were told in the songs and all those types of things, understanding the slang, it was around that time. And of course that led me down the rabbit hole of knowing about a whole bunch of different people like Cannabis and Elzai and Chino XL and everybody, you know. So that's my long-winded answer to the question, what rapper or rap group got you into hip hop?